All right, we're going back to right after World War II and wrapping that up, and we're going into President Truman, the same guy that dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. When Truman's war ends, well, when World War II ends, Truman has a truly monumental task. His task is transitioning America from the biggest wartime economy the world has ever seen into the biggest peacetime economy the world has ever seen without having massive bits of unemployment. Okay, he learned from something in World War I. Remember, whenever the soldiers got back, they faced a lot of hardships because the factories had to be shut down to be retooled, and World War II was even worse in that respect. So Truman has to come up with a plan to get 15 million American men back to work quickly, or at least doing something productive. So President Truman referred to his domestic program as the Fair Deal. So far, Teddy Roosevelt has had the Square Deal. We had Franklin Roosevelt with the New Deal. And now Truman has the Fair Deal, okay? And he's playing on that deal word to make him say, I'm like Roosevelt, okay? Like the Roosevelts. He increased the minimum wage. It went from, 40 cents an hour, I think, to 75 cents an hour. Ooh. That doesn't sound like much, folks, but if you double the minimum wage, it's something, okay? Not saying that it should happen or not, but anyway. All right, increase the minimum wage. The Housing Act of 1949, y'all do need to remember this. Truman is a Democrat, okay? So look at his policies. Housing Act of 49 to help low-income families buy a home while promoting slum clearance and public housing. So he's going to clear out the old slums, the really bad houses that landlords are charging too much for anyway. He's going to knock that stuff down, and he's going to build government housing that poor people can live in, so that way the Democratic Party could get votes. Next one, transition from a wartime economy to a civilian-based one. Underline this, folks. This is the big one right here. This is his huge task. I mean, he's got 15 million people out there in the world at the moment that the war ends. You got to bring all those people back. And you got to bring the tanks back. And you got to bring the ships back. And we got thousands of ships. What are we going to do with them? We don't need them anymore. So we start to sell some of them. It took over a year to get all of our forces back here in America. That's how big of a challenge it was. So whenever they get back, Truman wants them to have a really good advantage. Truman believed, rightfully so, that our American soldiers should be taken care of by the government. And he's not talking about writing them checks. He's talking about making sure they have proper opportunities for a good future. So he institutes what's called the GI Bill, okay? It's called the Servicemen Readjustment Act. That's the real name for it. You can write that on your margin if you want. Servicemen Readjustment Act. I don't know if they're going to say GI Bill or that for the LEAP, so you might want to write that on the side. All right, it's economic assistance to World War II veterans, which included financial assistance for housing and college. So this is going to be free college for up to 4 years, okay? I think there was a max put on that, but I can't remember at the moment. For housing, we're going to have cheap loans for veterans. We're not just going to give them a house. We're going to give them a loan at, let's say, 2% interest instead of 5% interest. So we're helping them out. Also to start businesses as well. This causes college graduation rates in America to increase dramatically. Because, see, the thing is, we got to have something for these folks to do while the factories are being retooled. So we're going to have a boom in the housing department, okay? 15 million guys overseas for 4 years or so, something like that. And a lot of them just took their check and put it in the bank. So the great thing about being a serviceman when you get back, especially if you're a single guy who didn't have a family dependent on you, is you now have 4 years of military salary in your bank. You didn't spend any of it. The Army fed you, they clothed you. And that would be a really nice little nest egg. Well, the first thing these guys want when they get back is they want everything. They want the house, they want the car, they want the marriage, they want the kids, they want everything, okay? We're going to get to that in a little while. So that boosts the housing. College, if you can't find a job, go to college. Okay, government's paying for it if you're a serviceman. So that's a pretty cool thing. It gives them something to do until they can get the factories retooled. All right, President Truman's Fair Deal programs focus on helping the country make a transition from a wartime economy to a peacetime economy. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. How did the Servicemen Readjustment Act of 1944, aka the GI Bill, impact the United States? Well, college graduation rates went up a lot. Okay, we just talked about all that.